2023 is the year of the rehashes. We've seen a bunch of previously titled arcades come back in a new form factor, the deluxe form factor. Arcade1up threw us one XL cabinet, the Pac-Man XL. Heard a lot of good things about this cabinet before I came across it at my local Costco. People claim that this was the best XL Arcade1up has ever done. We'll take a look, we'll do a full review, and we'll decide, is this the best XL cabinet, and should you make the switch or should you stick with deluxe? Because the deluxe is going to be $499, the XL $599. Is it worth that price? Here's my review for the Arcade1up Pac-Man XL. And just to recap the deluxe, you go to Best Buy, you can see the floor model for $499. There's the Arcade1up kiosk, and this is what you're getting. You're gonna have the light up marquee, and the marquee looks great. They did an excellent job with this marquee. The BOE monitor, it is a 17-inch screen. The control panel, and you're gonna get that molded coin door. It's a sharp looking cabinet. It also comes with screw cap covers, even though they're not on this floor model. You could just imagine you won't see those holes on either side of this cabinet. And here's exactly my thoughts of walking up to the Pac-Man XL at Costco. Those lights on the control panel, the molded coin door lighting up, that marquee, the size of it, plenty of boxes. The FOMO built up and I couldn't pass it up. Wheeled that out right to my car. Just a quick look at the box. Didn't really cover a lot of this at the store. You are getting those 14 games, and it's going to be identical to that deluxe cabinet. The only thing, it's going to be a lot bigger. Shot at the other side of the box, you'll see another image of the Pac-Man arcade. Closer look at those 14 games, and you do have that online leaderboard. And when I said bigger, I wasn't kidding. You get the 19-inch LCD screen. You know that's a BOE, and it's going to stand just under 65 inches tall. And the light up marquee, it's a huge marquee. Also, the light up coin doors. Just take a quick look at how this is packaged inside the box. You're going to see we have our owner's manual here and instructions. And with this one, you're only getting, besides your panels right here, we're only getting 2 boxes. Everything we need is in both of these boxes and our panels. And inside the smaller box, we do have all our hardware. You see the ball top and all of those screw caps. Looks like they're all yellow. There might be a couple red or blue ones, but from what I'm seeing, everything's yellow. Our power cord, along with some panels and that light up marquee. And inside that larger box, we do have our BOE monitor, the control panel. So the thing is the reason you can see the ends right here, the front, the back, the sides. The reason we only have 2 boxes is there's no risers, and that control panel is hooked onto the same piece as that monitor. So if you've purchased any Arcade1ups with that recessed monitor, you'll know what I'm talking about. So that's why there's only 2 boxes inside this big box. A lot less unpacking to do. Now let's get this baby assembled. And that's all we need to see right there. And if you've ever assembled a deluxe cabinet, you'll know that they do give you those covers for those screws exactly shown on this class 81. Depending on the colors of your cabinet, they will give you colors to match and cover up those bullet hole screws. Now before we turn this on, I've heard a lot of concern about the size of the XL compared to other cabinets you have. Now looking at the Star Wars, for example, if you do have the riser booster from Buy Stuff Arcades, you can see on the bottom here, it's basically, I mean, look at Killer Instinct, it's basically the same height. You can see class 81, the deluxe, right on the other side, how much taller this is. But some of your deluxe, as we can get Fast and Furious in this shot, you look, it's basically the same height along with Terminator 2. And even the iArcade Gold. So if you do have an iArcade Gold, or a big blue, you can see the difference here in the height of some of these cabinets. You're going to see a real difference in those original 4 players, Gen 1s, Gen 2s, but some deluxe, like the Class of 81, the Pac-Man we saw at Best Buy, the new Galaga coming out, and that all-black Ms. Pac-Man, you're going to see a big difference in the height compared to the XL. But then again, your arcade should look unique, and having all different colors, sizes, is something different. And I think the XL will fit into your room. This isn't the tallest XL that I've seen, but there is some good size to this machine. And firing this up for the first time, everything lights up immediately. The marquee, the buttons, those coin doors, the 19-inch monitor. You'll see the Arcade1up logo come up. And there's no bad angle. You know, you always get with the blacks a little bit of bleeding. But when you're standing right here, I mean, it's gonna look really good. You'll be prompted with the online leaderboards to sign up. We haven't done that yet, but I just wanted to show that the second you do power that on, these lights, sometimes there's a delay, you know, just depending on what arcade you turn on. We'll turn on Class 81. I want to do some side-by-side comparisons quick. The marquee comes on quick. You know, there's no buttons that light up. The coin door doesn't light up. But right off the bat, you can see the difference from the 19-inch screen to the 17-inch screen, plus the height of that control panel. Now, it is deceiving when you see this at Costco. It is on a pallet, so it looked even bigger in person. But that control panel, not only is it wider, but it is taller, and that monitor. And I just have to say that this was not on my radar. I was going to go with another deluxe. I mean, just look at the size difference here. I was going to go with another deluxe, but seeing this, with that 19-inch screen, I mean, this kind of changes my whole thought on what Arcade1ups I'm going to get in the future. If it does have a bigger size, the 19-inch screen, and it's the same as a deluxe, I'm going to go with the XL. I mean, that's just me, but you can just see the difference here in the 2 monitors going. It's just so much more like a real arcade feeling. And the stick, very tight. The Class 81's tight too, but this just feels, it feels tighter. It's just more sturdier. It's a different, I mean, plus the buttons, they're different buttons than what we're getting with those mushy Arcade1up buttons. Now, something I want to say is the volume on 1 in the Class 81. It's very loud. I never played it louder than 1. You can see the speakers up here, and I don't know if it's you know, the way this sits in here, but this really puts off a lot of noise. Now, using Sound 1 on the XL, it's not as loud because there's not as much room as there is in the deluxe. I mean, that's the only thing I can think of. We'll see how loud it does get. At 15, I mean, the speakers are going to pump out a lot of noise. It's just, it seems louder on a deluxe than on the XL, which I'm okay with because, like I said, I only went up to volume 1. If it's just me playing, volume 1 was plenty loud. Like right now, volume 3, volume 4, it's perfect for me. And just some side-by-side comparisons here from the XL to the deluxe. The bottom of that control panel starts at 37.5 inches. It does slant up, but the lowest part is 37.5. On the deluxe, it's right at 36, so you're 1.5 inches higher right from the get-go. And the width of the XL is right at 22.25, compared to just under 19 inches wide on the deluxe. Pac-Man stands at 64.75 inches tall, just under 65 high. compared to that deluxe, the Class 81, 60.5 inches. And you can see that Terminator 2 actually stands higher than the Pac-Man XL, not counting that topper right here. This is on a regular riser, 65.5 inches tall. You look at Fast and Furious at about 64.5. It looks like it's identical, or maybe a 1/4 inch shorter than that XL. I mean, you have deluxe, you have risers. They can all go in the same room. You can have XLs, deluxe, risers. Some of them are just as high as the others, if not more. Even the iArcade Gold stands 64 inches tall, and that has the 19-inch screen too. And you can notice the difference between the 19-inch screens and the 17-inch screens. But the fact of the matter is, as long as these other cabinets are near the same height, it won't bother your OCD. You can see, I mean, everything here is basically the same height until you get to some of these older cabs like my X-Men. I mean, you can just see how much shorter that is at 57, 58 inches tall. How does Pac-Man XL match up with Golden Tee 3D XL? Golden Tee is actually higher at 65 3/4, almost 66 inches tall. And I recently measured Shack Jam at just over 67. I want to say 67.5, 67 3/4. So Shack is the highest XL cabinet. Golden Tee's higher than Pac-Man. So just to show you that you could stick Pac-Man next to other cabs and it won't seem as big. And actually, Big Blue is just as tall as Shack Jam. And I'm not knocking the deluxe at all. As you can see, I have picked up some deluxe. You can fit more deluxe next to each other. At 19 inches wide, you can stick a lot more than you can with an XL or with a 4-player cabinet. So I mean, just depending on what works for you, I just thought before I sell my Class 81, put it in the review with Pac-Man just as a comparison on the difference between a cabinet that isn't even a year old. Now they're doing XLs. Whether we see an XL in a Class 81 or a Ms. Pac-Man is to be determined, but you'll know what you're getting size-wise when you see the deluxe next to that XL. And a good look of the sides. You can see the art just looks great. The screw cap covers fill in those holes, and the other side will match. Unfortunately, there's 2 spots on this side. You have a little spot right here, and right on the end here, and I did notice this right away when I started to take everything out of the box. And you know, there's those times you run into this. This can be fixed. It's not the end of the world. Better shot of it. You can't really see it from the front, and luckily the next cabinet will be so close that, you know, you're not going to see this. As long as the front looks good, I mean, that's all you can really ask for. And the fact that I didn't have any issues, you know, everything powered on, the Marquee came on, the screen works fine. You know, you never know what issues could happen, anything in the assembly line. If this was all, it's unfortunate, you know, you get this when you're spending $599, but this is repairable. And we'll take a look at the 14 games that are included on the Pac-Man XL. Now these are going to be the same 14 that are also on Pac-Man Deluxe. Starting off with the headline game Pac-Man, Pac-Mania, Super Pac-Man, Pac-Land, Pac-and-Pal, Pac-Man Plus, Galaga, Galaxian, Mappy, Dig Dug, Dig Dug 2, Rompers, Rolling Thunder, Galaga 88, and that's going to take us right back to Pac-Man, that headline game. And the rule was that I made this decision, first of all, because Costco, very dangerous having that floor model out. Couldn't pass it up. Saw all the lights on the control panel, the size of this cabinet. I said, you know what, it's got to be the XL. I got to get this cabinet. Only downside is something had to leave, and unfortunately that was Class 81. And the reason I got Class 81 was for Galaga 88 and Rolling Thunder, and this cabinet has those. So for me, I didn't lose anything. I gained more size, got some of my favorite titles back, And I'm happy with this pickup. Even with that gouge on the side, it's still a great cabinet. Another feature is that online leaderboards. We're not playing anybody online, but we are keeping top scores. And as you can see, it can hook up to your internet, your home internet, and every game will have online leaderboards. And the cool thing is it will show you, you'll know exactly what cabinet everybody has. And just taking a look at that marquee, it's a great looking marquee. There's nothing you got to do to it unless you absolutely have to have like a Namco or a Bally logo somewhere on here. The marquee looks great. What you're seeing on camera is pretty much what I'm seeing, looking at it dead on, and there's nothing bleeding through. They've stepped it up with these marquees. There's nothing you have to do to this cabinet. Light up buttons look amazing. And this is one of the things that got me when I saw it at Costco, not just the size of that monitor, but the buttons. And I know it's a simple thing, like you can put light up buttons in your cabinet if you want, but to buy something that already has it, not have to do anything, you know, it helps you talk yourself into purchasing a new cabinet. And those light up coin doors, a great touch. A lot of cabinets from Arcade1up will have those light up coin doors. So will the XL, and there's just nothing that I'm seeing on here that needs to be addressed other than like cosmetic scratches that you could see when you take this out of the box. Everything, I mean, the statement of, could this be Arcade1up's best XL cabinet yet? Pac-Man was not on my radar. I was looking forward to seeing it at Costco, but I didn't really have a plan that I was actually going to buy it until the FOMO got to me. And Lucky kind of talked me into it too. It just looks so good sitting on the floor at Costco. I went there 3 straight days, and the third day was the day that I went in to buy it. But the second day, we went shopping after I did a walk and talk, and I went right up to it and I said, they have it plugged in, the lights are on, this thing looks good. I've heard a lot of people in the community say this is the best XL yet, and I agree with them. From the grill covers, the 19-inch screen, the BOE, you see that great bezel, the light up buttons, the light up coin door. I think Lucky's impressed. If Arcade1up in 2024 brings us more XL cabinets, I'm completely on board. Even if it is rehash, I think we're going to get a couple new titles. But for the most part, license that they already have, we're going to see an XL. We'll see a Ms. Pac-Man, a Mortal Kombat, a Street Fighter 2. And in that process, I will slowly swap out my cabinets like I did for Class of 81 to bring this in, because seeing this in person, it was just too good to pass up, and Pac-Man wasn't even on my radar. Sometimes when you see a cabinet almost full size, I mean, you want to bring it home. You want to have this. It comes with so many features, the light up coin doors, the light up buttons. The screen really does it for me along with that marquee. Just enormous stuff, and it's like the bigger the better. And like we said, there's cabinets that you have. If you have a Big Blue, if you have T2, they'll pair up nice with these. I mean, you can have different variants of arcade cabinets. You can have an iArcade, an AtGames, an MVSX, an Arcade1up. There's nothing wrong with any of these. It's your arcade, and if there's a big cabinet, and note that Pac-Man isn't the biggest cabinet we've seen. Golden Tee's bigger, Shack Jam's bigger. It's a great size cabinet. And be alarmed that when you go to Costco, it's on that pallet, like it's gonna look even bigger, like it sucks you in on the size of this thing. It is big, but it will look a little bit bigger in store, so just be cautious. $599 it's a lot of money, guys. I want to break this down, show you the difference between the Deluxe. I like the XL, I also like the Deluxe, and there's gonna be a Deluxe that's gonna go right on the other side, hopefully cover up that gouge we have on the side. It's unfortunate, but that's life. Sometimes we get stuff like this outside of the box. I want to thank everybody for watching this review, and I'll see you guys next time. Oh, and I almost forgot, guys. On the back side of that owner's manual for the Pac-Man Deluxe. Reminds me of the Fast and Furious when they kind of had that leak of when I bought my Class 81, Fast and Furious was on the back side, like, collect all four type of thing. Arcade1up is selling us form factors, the Pro Series, the XL, the Deluxe, your Standard, and the Peasant. So you have your risers, no riser, riserless, XL, and the Pro Series. This is what we're seeing from Arcade1up. We'll see what 2024 brings. But what's next for this is Time Crisis is going to go right on the other side of Pac-Man. Like I said, you can still get Deluxe, you can still get risers or XL. They all work. They're all going to look good in your arcade. It's how you want to do it.